Now, sentencing proceedings for convicted murderer Ntuthuko Shoba are set to get underway in the High Court in Johannesburg this morning. Shoba has been found guilty of the premeditated murder of his girlfriend Tshegofatso Pule in March of 2020. The 28-year-old's body was found with a gunshot wound hanging from a tree in Roodepoort. She was 8 months pregnant at the time of her murder. Linda Mnisi is outside court and he joins us now live. Linda, very good morning to you. It's been an emotional journey, especially for the family and those who are now hearing of the gruesome nature of this crime. Talk to us about some expectations ahead of this process.
Of course, there are high expectations when it comes to this case, and one may think that because of the time that has lapsed and the time that has gone by, the interest would have faded. But if you look behind me, of course, that tells you a totally different story. These are the same people that have been here supporting the Pule family, calling for justice. But we've also seen other, actors of society, other sectors of society coming together, to call for justice in this particular matter. It was postponed because Ntuthuko Shoba's sentence report was, of course, not concluded, and he needed time to have that concluded. He also needed to appoint his own social worker who would work around, that particular sentencing report. Now, in that sentencing report, we're talking about issues like personal circumstances and a number of factors which could help him mitigate in the arguments that are expected to take place inside court. I want to bring in Tshegofatso Pule's uncle, Tumisang Kateke. Tumisang, thank you so much for your time. I was saying in my intro that, a lot of time has lapsed. It's been a long time since we've come back to court. And one may think that because of that particular time, the interest has faded. People no longer remember this case. But when you look outside, there are, of course, a number of people, and the interest is still there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the interest so much, Mr. Mnisi, but I think more than anything for us, it's the support. I think that's what draws the public. The interest of this case, for us, when we view it as a support. And we really appreciate it because it's been a long journey. I mean, it's more than 2 years now since we started attending the trial of Tshegofatso. So we appreciate every little support that we get. And it's really, really heartwarming for us to see people that they don't lose interest and they don't lose hope and they're forever supporting us as a family. Yeah.
Now, the last time we were in court, we heard how he needed to prepare his sentence report. It was not concluded. He needed his own social worker, even though the state could provide him one. But he said he needed his own. Both as Tshegofatso's uncle and as a legal professional, what did you make of these developments?
I don't know what he was trying to pull, honestly speaking, because it makes no difference whether he gets a private or a public one, but at the end of the day, the job is the same. It's all about the principles. The probation officer has to be there, has to interview him. If he feels like he's been hard done by the state, it doesn't matter. They are there to do their job. It doesn't mean because of it's a private and therefore it will favor him. What I viewed that stand as, it's just another delaying tactic and then a waste of time and resources and more so having no regard to our feelings in this whole process.
The one thing that you wanted assistance with as a family from the state is possibly getting to know exactly where Tshegofatso drew her last breath. Has the state been able to assist you with that? Because I understand there are traditional ceremonies that still need to be, performed in order for you to find closure.
Not as yet, but at the same time, when we spoke with the captain who was handling the case, he told us that there's lots of procedures that needs to be done because, as you would understand, Mr. Malipane is the one who shot at Tshegofatso. So there's whole procedure that needs to be done, him being booked out, being escorted, and all those resources being made sure that they are there to escort him so that he can point us exactly where he shot Tshegofatso at. So I'm hoping by the end of this process we'll be able to get back to the captain and speak to him and make sure that they understand the importance of this thing, because of where we found Tshegofatso, we still adamant that's not where her last breath was actually taken.
All right, I want to thank you so much for your time. That's Ntuthiko Shoba. He is the uncle of Tshegofatso Pule. As you can see, of course, like I indicated earlier on, there's massive support for the Pule family. But I want to bring in Butlali. She is one of the founders of the Tshegofatso Pule Foundation. Let's talk about the work, that you've been able to do so far. I mean, the case is not concluded, and one of the things that you do for other victims is make sure that they understand these processes and the delays in the courts.
Yes. Yeah, definitely, Linda. So it goes just beyond what we are doing here. So we take everything that we're learning here and we make sure that we put it to practice where other cases are concerned. Just this past week, we also had a victory to celebrate, because if you could remember, just a day after we buried Tshegofatso, we found Mfaba in Green Village, and she was murdered by her boyfriend. And just this past week, sentencing was passed, and he got 18 years. So we're hoping that when it comes to us, it's going to be more than that, because I think 18 years for a life is just not justice for us. So for us, we keep pushing a hashtag of life for Kamano, life for Tshegofatso. So we want a double life sentence, and that's what we're hoping for today.
All right, thank you so much for your time. That's Butlali Mudisani. They're speaking to us about the expectations of Mpo, saying that they're expecting nothing less than a double life in this particular matter. It's something that they've been pushing as the Tshegofatso Pule Foundation, assisting, of course, victims of gender-based violence, particularly their families, when it comes to also the legal processes. You would have seen, I spoke to Ntuthuko earlier on, who indicated that he understands, as a legal professional, he understands, the legal processes. So that's his role in that particular foundation. So singing and dancing continues outside court. We've already spotted Tshegofatso Pule's father's side of the family entering court. I've already seen Ntuthuko Shoba's legal representatives. I've already seen a member of his family. It's quite interesting because today he's coming into court with two advocates who are representing him. You'll remember Advocate Makubela was the one who ran the trial, but there was another advocate who was actually part of this entire process. So he's then, rejoining these proceedings as they continue inside this court. So at 10 o'clock then, we're expecting that the proceedings will get underway and we'll hear arguments of mitigation and aggravating circumstances.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Let's leave it there for now. Linda Mnisi outside that court ahead of the verdict, of course, when it comes to this matter. We'll take you there as soon as it gets underway. Let's